For the lesson 12 problem set in module 5, we're going to continue the use of our kind of timeline to help us understand the best way to go about recognizing the value of different fractions. I know we spent quite a bit of time finding equivalent fractions. Now we're going to transition into identifying things like when there are two given fractions, which one is greater, less than, or if they continue to be equal with. So one of the things that I want to point out is it's really important to re-emphasize the value of the denominator. So in this case, we have thirds, sixths, and twelfths. And with that being pointed out, I want to kind of recognize that we like to compare using similar values. So I know that 3 can go into 12 and 6 can go into 12. Unfortunately, 7/12 can't go down to the other ones. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to relabel 5/6 as twelfths. Well, we know to get from 6 to 12, we have to times by 2. So 5 times 2 would equal 10. And over here, to go from 3 to 12, you would need to multiply by 4. So 1 times 4 is going to be 4 twelfths. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and get 12 spaces between 0 and 1. With that being said, we know that 1/2 would be 6 over 12. So that gives us kind of a general spot. So this will be 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, and this would be 12/12. This being 0/12. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each of the equivalent fractions that we found. So this one was 4/12, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that this is 4/12, but I'm actually going to take the answer of 1/3 and put that up above. For this one, 5/6, we know that that is equivalent to 10/12. So 6, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12. And I'm going to put the equivalents right here, 5/6. And 7/12, we actually don't have to convert it at all because it's already converted for us. So, with that being the case, 7/12 would be right here. So when we go into a situation like this, use the number line in part A to compare the fractions. We have 7/12, which we identified right here. And they ask if it is greater than, equal to, or less than 1/2. It is more than 1/2, so 7/12 would get the mouth side. That says 7/12 is greater than 1/2. When we look at 7/12 compared to 5/6, 7/12 is here and 5/6 is right here, which means the 5/6 would be greater than 7/12. Down here, again, the idea of finding a common denominator, 4 goes into 12 and 8 does not go into 12. So you may need to adjust and find a more common denominator, something like 24, or you might be able to break them into smaller groupings. On the back side, they're going to ask you to compare fractions by either writing less than, greater than on the lines, and you're going to give a brief explanation. And the key that they kind of point out here is when you give this explanation, what you're going to see, what you're going to see is they're going to ask using the benchmarks 0, 1/2, and 1. So I have 1/2 and 3/4. Well, if I make 2 into 4, that would be 2/4, which tells us that 3/4 is larger. In a fraction, say, like this one, 9/10, we know that 9/10 is pretty close to 1. 3/5 is kind of like half. That can give us a hint just by generally looking at it that 9/10 is greater than 3/5. Another thing you could do is you could make 3/5 into tenths, which would make 6/10, which would also prove that 9/10 is greater. Let's look at one more. So, a problem like this where we have 2/3 and 5/10, we know 5/10 is the halfway point, and 2/3 is actually more than half, which tells me that 2/3 is greater. You're going to continue trying to use this judgments, or you could find common denominators to help answer these questions.